Super excited. So I hope y'all are ready to listen. It's been a few weeks since we've done a bedtime story. So instead of doing a review, I'm just going to jump right in. Tonight we are reading about David and the giant. How many of you know who that giant might be? If you said Goliath, you are absolutely right. So tonight we are going to read about David and Goliath. David was minding the sheep. He kept a careful eye on them. They must not wander off, and no fierce wild animal must hurt them. David was a shepherd boy, and he was really good at his job. The sheep knew they were safe when David was minding them. He found them fields of juicy green grass, and he led them to clear fresh water. He sounds like an awesome caretaker, doesn't he? David was trying out a new song on his harp. It was fun to make up new songs. What David liked best was making up songs about God. He sang thanking songs and praising songs and asking songs. David just loved God. Do y'all just love God? Do you ever make up songs? So his latest song went like this. God is my shepherd, so I have everything I need. He finds me fields of juicy green grass. He leads me to clear fresh water. He guides me on the right paths. Even when it's dark, I need not be afraid because God is with me, keeping me safe. God is my good shepherd. David, one of his brothers came running up the hill. David had 7 big brothers. Can you imagine? Go home at once. Samuel wants to see you. God had sent Samuel to David's house to choose the next king. God was not pleased with King Saul. The next king must be someone who loved and trusted God, and God had chosen David. Here's a picture of his brother coming to get him. The people from the sea picked a fight with King Saul and his soldiers. They had a huge man, the giant Goliath, on their side, so they were sure to win. Goliath was simply enormous. He was like an Iron Man. No one could hurt him. I dare you to fight me, he shouted to King Saul's soldiers. I dare anyone to fight me. Everyone was scared of this huge Iron Man, so no one would fight him. Look at how big he was compared to everybody else. That's Goliath. That's all the other people. Every morning and every evening, Goliath stood there shouting, I dare you to fight me. I dare anyone to fight me. But no one did. They were too scared. 3 of David's big brothers were among those soldiers. Go and see how they are, David's father said to him one day. They may be hungry. Here are 10 loaves of bread and 10 cream cheeses. Take them some roasted corn, all you can carry. David got there just in time to hear Goliath shouting his nonsense. I dare anyone to fight me. When no one moved, David talked to the soldier. That giant's too big for his boots. We shouldn't let him get away with it. This is God's army. You're the one who's too big for his boots, his brother said crossly. Look at David trying to gas his brothers up. He's trying to tell them there's nothing to be afraid of. King Saul sent for David. I'm not scared, David said. I'll fight him. But you're only a boy, said the king. I mind the sheep at home, David said. Sometimes lions and bears try to snatch a lamb and I have to kill them. If God can keep me safe from lions and bears, he can keep me safe from this giant. So the king dressed David up as a soldier, but everything was far too big. He gave David his own sword, but it was far too heavy. I can't wear all this to fight the giant, David said as he put his own clothes on again. I can hardly walk. Look at how they got David looking to fight Goliath. The helmet even covers his eyes. David took his strong stick and went down to the stream. He chose 5 smooth stones to fit his shepherd's sling. Then he went to fight the giant. What's this? The giant roared. A boy with a stick coming to fight me? God doesn't need big men with swords to save his people, David said. He took one of the 5 smooth stones and fired it with his sling. Y'all, look at how David fired that sling, that rock on Goliath. The stone hit Goliath where? Does anybody know where? Right on the forehead and knocked him out. David cut off Goliath's head with the giant's own sword. King Saul's army cheered and cheered, and the people from the sea all ran away. You got to be pretty bold to take somebody's own weapon and kill them with it, right? But that just showed us that if God is for us, then nothing can stand against us. That was a wonderful story. I hope you all enjoyed that story on tonight. And it's getting late. It's time for y'all to go ahead and get in the bed. So let's bow our heads, close our eyes, and say the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Good night, boys and girls.